You wake up. The fire is dying. The air is freezing. Something feels wrong. No one in your tribe is speaking. Every face is staring at you. Yesterday, the strongest hunter threatened to kill you. Everyone heard him. Everyone remembers. This morning, he's dead. You rush toward the body. No wounds. No blood. No broken spear. No signs of a fight. The snow around him is almost untouched. An old woman kneels beside the hunter. She places her hand on his chest, closes her eyes, then slowly points at you. You brought death. Your heart pounds. You never touched him. You never entered his shelter. You never raised a weapon. But 30,000 years ago, none of that mattered, because in the Ice Age, there was only one explanation. An explanation so terrifying it would shape human history for thousands of years. An invisible force that could kill without leaving a single mark. Today, many people would call it dark magic. But why would an entire tribe believe something like that? To answer that, we have to solve the mystery of the dead hunter. The hunters search the camp again. Every footprint belongs to someone still alive. No wolf tracks. No bear tracks. His food is untouched. His spear is beside him. Nothing is missing. It's as if death appeared and vanished. Today, we know healthy people can die from illnesses, heart problems, or infections that leave no obvious clues. But imagine living 30,000 years ago. You know nothing about bacteria, nothing about viruses, nothing about invisible diseases. Yesterday, a man laughed around the fire. Today, he's gone. How would you explain it? The answer begins inside the human brain. Scientists call it pattern recognition. It's one of the greatest survival tools evolution ever created. If you hear a branch snap behind you, it's safer to assume danger than ignore it. Most of the time, you'll be wrong. But the one time you're right, it could save your life. So our brains evolved to connect events, even when those connections aren't real. Now return to the dead hunter. Yesterday, he threatened you. This morning, he's dead. If you were standing beside that body 30,000 years ago, which would seem more believable? An invisible disease no one could see, or an invisible curse no one could see. To us, the first answer is obvious. To them, the second may have felt undeniable. And that was only the beginning. Because archaeologists would later uncover evidence suggesting that long before cities, writing, or civilization, humans had already begun searching for forces beyond the visible world. The next clue was buried inside a cave, and it changes everything. The next clue wasn't found beside the hunter. It was hidden inside a cave, deep inside Shanidar Cave, in present-day Iraq. Archaeologists discovered that Neanderthals carefully buried their dead more than 70,000 years ago. Think about that. Life was brutally hard. Every hunt mattered. Every hour mattered. Yet they still stopped to care for those who had died. Why? No one knows exactly what they believed. But one thing is certain. Death had become more than the end of life. It had become a mystery. Now return to the hunter. No one has moved his body. The tribe keeps its distance. The old woman refuses to touch him again. She whispers that whatever took his life may still be nearby. Today, those words sound like superstition. But imagine never knowing that invisible germs existed. An unseen force would seem far more believable than an unseen disease. Then another discovery appeared. Inside Blombos Cave in South Africa, archaeologists found pieces of red ochre engraved with deliberate patterns, dating back around 100,000 years. They also found shell beads that people wore on their bodies. These weren't random objects. They were symbols. For the first time, humans weren't just surviving, they were giving meaning to the world around them. And once symbols exist, beliefs can spread. A mark can become a warning. A necklace can become protection. A person with unusual knowledge can become someone the tribe fears or trusts. Now return to the hunter one last time. The tribe has already decided what happened, not because they saw it, because it was the only explanation that made sense to them. If no spear killed him, then something invisible must have. That is how the first shamans may have risen to importance, not as magicians, but as the people who understood the unknown. They knew which plants eased pain, which roots were poisonous, which caves stayed warm during winter, when their knowledge saved lives. People believed when it failed. Fear searched for another answer. An angry spirit, a curse, dark magic. The greatest mystery was never whether dark magic was real. The greatest mystery was why the human mind became convinced it had to be. Belief gave frightened people something that random death never could. An explanation. Thousands of years have passed. We understand disease. We understand storms. We understand why healthy people sometimes die without warning. Yet, our minds still search for patterns. We still look for meaning. We still ask why terrible things happen. So, what really killed the hunter? We'll never know. Perhaps it was illness. Perhaps the freezing cold. Perhaps a hidden condition no one in the tribe could ever understand. But in the end, the real story was never about how one man died. It was about how that mysterious death changed the minds of everyone who survived. And maybe that's where humanity's oldest invisible fear truly began.